Today we're going to look at an example where we can use a table to help us graph an equation. So you can use a table to help determine if an equation represents a proportional relationship. For example, the relationship between time x and distance y can be represented by the equation y equals 2x. Create a table and then graph the results. So the first thing when you have an equation that you're going to do is to create a table. Now I would like you to select values for x to substitute in the equation. You can use any value, but using small numbers will allow you to do the calculations quickly. You will substitute the values into the equation to determine the y value, and then finally you will graph the results. So let's take a look at the table that I've set up and also the graph. So once again, our equation that was given was y equals 2x. So over here, you can see we have a table. So when I said choose values that are small, you want to choose values like 0 would be a good one. Even 1/2 is a good value to use. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I could have chosen any values here for x to plug in to the equation, but I chose some pretty small numbers. So let's start with the equation y equals 2x. So for each one of these x values, I'm going to substitute it into the equation. So I'll start with 0. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I would like to see what the y value is going to be when I plug in that 0 for x. Once I've done that, 2 times 0 is 0. So that means when x is 0, so is y. Then you can actually graph that point. So if I go ahead and do that, 0, 0 is located right there on the coordinate plane. I'm next going to move to the next value I chose, which is 1/2 for x. So I'm going to keep the equation y equals 2x, but instead of that x, I'm going to put in 1/2. 2 times 1/2 will give me 1. So when x is 1/2, y is 1. Then I can graph 1/2, 1. So if I go over to the origin, I go over to 1/2 and up to 1, and that point would be right there. I'm going to do that for every value here. So when x is equal to 1, I'm going to replace x with 1. 2 times 1 is 2. So when x is 1, the y value is 2. Then I can come over here and actually graph it. I can do the same thing when x is equal to a 2. I'm going to fill that in. 2 times 2 is 4. So when x is 2, y is actually equal to 4. When I continue doing this, like when x is equal to a 3, 2 times 3 is 6. So a 6 would go here, and then 4 and 8. So if I go ahead and finish graphing some of those, 3, 6 would look like that, 2, 4, and for the last one, 4, 8. I kind of need to go off a little bit here because my graph doesn't actually have 8 on the y-axis, so I'm just putting it up there. You can see it looks like they're forming a straight line. Now with you at home, I would definitely be using a ruler to actually connect these points, but there you have it. So this does show a proportional relationship because my line does go through the origin 0, 0, and it is a straight line. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.